Hello, my darlings. My name is Victoria, and this is Veritas Tarot. Leo, I'm going to be doing you a reading. Sorry, I was just double checking something. I'm going to be doing you a reading today, focusing on love. Obviously, the person that you're thinking about at this time, and is also obviously with regards love for yourself, which is so important, that self-love. I'm going to be using my Spirit Song Tarot to start off the reading, which is this beautiful deck here. And then I'm going to be using my new Muse Tarot, which is beautiful, which is here. And then I'm going to be using the new Gilded Tarot, which has just come out. So I'm very excited to be using these new cards. If the reading doesn't resonate, my darling, it simply means it was not for you at this time. There'll always be a reading out there for you as guided by Spirit. Spirit will always send you to that reading at exactly the right time that you need to hear it. And if the reading does resonate, I would be so grateful, my darlings, if you would like, comment, share, subscribe. Leo, thank you for all of your wonderful comments that I have received. I am very humbled and very grateful. I love doing readings for you, and it's lovely to receive such beautiful messages back. So thank you. My readings are, although they're obviously time-stamped, they are timeless. They are for whenever you need to hear these messages. So let's move ahead with your reading, my darling. This is for those that most need to hear these messages today. Thank you. Let's just move things out of the way. Thank you, Spirit, for Leo, for those that most need to hear these messages today. There we go, well, that flew out. Oh, what a beautiful card to fly out. You've got the World card has popped out here for you. And this talks about fulfillment and celebration. And it's come at a time that you've gone through a time of change, a time of renewal as well with this Five of Feathers. So I want to talk about the Five of Feathers first. There is a resilience to you at this time because of things that you have gone through. This is the armadillo, and you've had to be very protective of your energy space, because the Five of Swords is about an energy that's not very nice to be around. It's an energy that's very draining. It's an energy that's very negative, and it could be more than one person. So it's important, and you've realized this, to protect your boundaries, to stand within that space. You can be very compassionate and understanding of somebody, but it doesn't mean to say, and you can and have that understanding why people are behaving a certain way, but it doesn't mean to say you allow it. If you protect your boundaries and you say no, also energetically, because we are simply energy, and emotion is energy in motion. So you have also at this time, I feel like you've because you've come to the end of a cycle, you've learned how to almost shield yourself emotionally as well. And you're now kind of like this, wearing spiritual armor. You kind of understand things, you get things, you see why things have happened for you. You've learned, you've grown, you've evolved. Evolution is always moving forward. It never moves back. So things have changed for you, but of course they've changed for the better because you've been moved forward. It's one of my little dogs appearing there. It's a reminder about choosing your battles wisely. And sometimes, when we're having conversations that are very important, it's not actually how the message is received, it's how you give the message. A very wise person told me that. And what I mean by that is that it is not your responsibility, nor is it should it be an intent for that message to be received in the way that you wished it for it to be received. We simply, when we give messages from the right space, when we speak from our higher self, when we speak from a place of self-love, we're actually giving that message for ourselves, because in the moment of speaking it, we receive the clarity and the insight. I hope that makes sense. But you've got this, you've had this inner strength to move forward at this time, and you've really been standing your ground and standing up for what you believe in and what your values are and what you deserve. Most importantly, this has been a huge journey of self-love for yourself and self-empowerment. And I think for a time you have felt you've gone through a stage where you felt very trapped in those emotions, but now you're coming to this new time, this new fulfillment, and it's fulfillment within yourself. It's fulfillment that despite everything that's happened, you're at a better space, you're happier, and you're now able to witness yourself causing things to happen, manifestations. You're consciously creating things. Your consciousness is creating reality as opposed to reality creating your consciousness. So rather than being impacted so much on what's happening around you, you're actually causing things to happen, and you're doing so from a conscious space, which is incredibly powerful to do because you're willing things forward, but in the right energy space. The whale is the cosmos, represents kind of being the cosmos of the universe. And the whale talks with a sonar, with an echo. So the way you are feeling now, the energy out that you are vibrating is having a ripple effect on relationships around you, but also in terms of what you're receiving back, which is very beautiful. You have a great awareness of things as well. And you have an understanding now that life is always a process of coming. Life is evolution. Evolution is a way forward, and evolution is always for our greatest good. So you're feeling empowered, and your insight is now literally turning into foresight. So fantastic. That's really, really, really lovely to see. So let's have a look now a little bit more about where you are. Thank you, Spirit. More on the whale, the end of the cycle. What's coming in now for Leo? Thank you. So, well, of course, you've got the death cards now appear. So this is nothing stops the death card. I love to see the death card here. This is a rebirth for you. And now you've got the chariot on the bottom of the deck. So Leo, whatever you're doing, you keep doing it. That is now 3 major arcanas that appeared out of 4 cards. So these are big life-changing cards. These are big divine intervention cards. The death card, nothing stops the death card. This is a transformation card. This is transition and liberation. You're feeling free. You're feeling free of the feelings that you used to feel. You're feeling a relief, and relief talks about being on that life path. The death card is the end of an old way of thinking, old conditional ways of thinking. The death card is the end of old conditional ways of doing things. It's a way, literally, it's like you've stepped out of your mind, because our mind processes things from what it has learned in this lifetime. And therefore, if we keep repeating the same things over and over again, it's simply because our mind can only give us the information, that judged data that it holds, that we have told ourselves or others have told us. But you've stepped out of your mind, and you've started to see your life from this different perspective about what this experience and experiences before have taught you, and how it can help you grow and evolve, and how it can help you learn to really truly love yourself and stand in that space of knowing you deserve this great happiness, knowing that you are enough as yourself. This is the beautiful card this is the beautiful representation of the death card. And what it's doing for you, it's clearing all the obstacles. I mean, it's like you've because you've got the chariot card here as well. This is the universe bringing in for you what you're wishing to manifest. God, the universe, will always bring in, because the universe always says yes to everything. And it says yes to everything, and then everything starts to click into place behind the scenes in order to create that manifestation that you wish to come in. And it will always bring it in through the path of least resistance. So I always say, imagine the universe is like a rhino charging down this path towards you. What do? You get out of the way of it. You don't become attached to the outcomes. If just the thought of what you're wishing to manifest now, my darling, is enough for you, and you get joy out of dreaming it and visualizing it, but you're not attached to how and when it's going to happen, if just that thought and visualization of it is enough to bring you joy, and you're in peace in the moment, you are willing this towards you, whatever it is that you're looking to do right now. So that's really beautiful. This is a wonderful self-empowerment card. And this is the termination of you moving forward with this rhino. And it's like this priority now within you. You're not going to get sidetracked. You see, once we start to have a spiritual awakening, it's like we've taken a plug from one plug socket and we've plugged it into another, and it fuses. You can't unspiritually awake. Once you've woken up, that's it. And I feel like you've embraced this as a new way forward, which is beautiful. And you're now starting to observe your life from that perspective, which is such a gift that we all have, but we have to choose to want to do it and be willing to do it and be willing to receive. So well done you. I'm going to actually start to pull from another deck, and I'm going to use my Muse Tarot a little bit more about what's coming in for you now, my darling. Thank you for Leo. Coming in for Leo, that wants to come out. So 9 of Wands. So you've really come, thank you, Spirit. 9 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're coming into balance, okay, which is the first thing I'm saying. You're completely in balance. You've got 3 and 3, which makes 6. 3 of Materials is the 3 of Pentacles, and 3 of Inspiration is the 3 of Wands. And the 3s are mind, body, and spirit. See them as mind, body, and spirit. It's a very powerful number. I want you to look up angel number 33 as well. They've just said that to me. So look up angel number 33 and see what the meaning is. The 3 of Pentacles is about you creating within yourself that very, very strong foundation. And that foundation is you coming at life from a place of understanding, a place of self-love, a place of self-respect, a place of knowing that you're actually causing your life path to happen, and you're creating all the time. That it's in collaboration with others a lot of the time. Sometimes we're unaware of that. And the reason I say that now is because you've got the 3 of Wands has come out too. That's the manifestation card. So whatever you're creating and causing to happen, wishing to happen, and I'll talk about hope, wishing, and believing and knowing in a second, but whatever it is you're doing, my darling, you are doing it in collaboration with others. But you may not know that. You see, the universe, spirit, is like a web, a spider's web. Imagine that. And everybody is connected by an end of a thread. And when you are weaving together your past, your life desires and everything, others have to sometimes get involved behind the scenes, and they don't know that either. But it's just the whole pattern of events has to sort of fall into place in order to create that manifestation that you're wishing for. And that's what's happening. And you're doing it consciously, though, which is really beautiful to see. And I'm seeing here with this 3 of Materials, you know, and this 3 of Materials is you do have soul family around you who are entwined in that path with you, who've come in at this stage of your life because God has sent them, the universe has sent them, and you to them also. There's always many, many layers to a spiritual cake. And then the 3 of Wands is what you are thinking and saying and doing now. Remember, those are the 3 tools of creation. What you think, say, and do now, you're placing into your future. And that's the dominoes here. So as you flip one domino down with things that you're thinking, saying, and you're doing, it's having an effect on all of those dominoes moving forward. So be very conscious all the time that, you know, our words are very powerful, their spellings, our thoughts, you know, everything we sit around us has come from creative thought. We were created to create. We were created to evolve. We were created in order to go through a life experience. And the life experience is we have a piece of divinity within us. That is God. That is our soul, our intuition, spirit. And so our soul came here and forgets everything the moment it's reborn. And its soul's purpose is to evolve, is to remember what it always knew it was, a part of divinity. Remember, a member of a piece of divinity. So that's the I am. So as you are in this space of thinking and saying and doing, you are placing all of that into your future, and you're doing it beautifully, darling. So keep doing what you're doing. And with the 9 of Wands, continue to choose your battles, continue to remain focused on that one wand, what your desire is, what your passions are, what your creativity, whatever it is that you're focusing on with regards love. Okay, continue to focus on that, because you're doing it from a sense of knowing. And I'm just going to talk for a second, because when we wish or hope for something, it has quite a lot of element of doubt about it. When we have belief and we trust and have faith in something happening, it still has a little element of doubt attached to it. Can't quite believe it. When we have a knowing about something, that's your soul speaking, that's your ancient wisdom, that's your knowing, when you don't quite know how you know it, but you just know it. And this is spirit saying, trust in that knowing, whatever that knowing is for this time, trust in it. And you do not need to defend yourself or explain yourself to anybody else. The only person, because remember, everybody has their own perspective on life. You have your own direct perspective. It may be very clear at times, it may be cloudy at other times. Others also have their own perspectives. and they may be clear or cloudy. And so when somebody gives you advice or an opinion, if you feel that it resonates and it's coming from a place of unconditional love, that's a message from God, because God talks to us through our clearest word, our highest thought, and our greatest experience. But if it's coming from a place where you recognize that it is a perspective that is making you feel uncomfortable for all the wrong reasons, then that is coming from somebody else's cloudy, direct perspective of life. And you only need to trust in your own, just like a snake only goes forward, doesn't actually hear, only sees, can't hear, just sees, and moves forward instinctively. And that's what you're being asked to do at this time. Thank you, Spirit. What else do you have for me? Of course, that card wanted to come out. You've got the awakening card here. This experience in love with this Five of Swords, you've woken up, you've found yourself again, you've creating your own foundation. This is an inner calling for you. This is divine intervention. This is another chance. This is a moment where you start, it's like a pivotal moment for you, where you start to move forward with a very different perspective on yourself and on life. And it's a beautiful card, the Judgment card, the Awakening card. You are literally intent and focused on what's in your heart space, in your heart chakra. It's about doing things from a place of love. It's about the answer to any question. What would love do in this situation? You are, how do I say this? It's like having, you've had a sort of symbolic ending. That's the divine intervention. And this is like this new path is opening up for you, and you're being very sure-footed at the moment. You may or may not be aware of where this new direction in love is going. And I will just see if there's anything that Spirit wants to tell me at this time. The Hierophant. So there is around you at this time guidance that you're receiving, and you're looking for something deeper. You're looking for something deeper, and it's because you've realized you've had the contrast. You have experienced what you don't want in order to know what you do want. And that's another gift. You know, when we can flip everything with a perspective of gratitude. Thank you for this happening for me because I've learned this from this. Thank you for this happening for me because I've learned how to do this from this. Every obstacle block is an opportunity for learning and for growth. Every failed relationship is a chance for us to truly say within ourselves, you know, was that something in me that was being triggered by unhealed trauma and hurts from previous relationships? Everything is an opportunity, and therefore everything we should attach gratitude to it, because change is the godding process, and change takes us from this place to this place. And because evolution is always for our greatest good and our greatest joy, then whatever you have gone through in these moments is taking you to that moment. And then you know that because you've got the Judgment card, you've got the Awakening card has appeared. Thank you, Spirit. And now you've got the Emperor. So you are in a place where you've come into a space of doing, okay, a lot of doing. But the Emperor card is a very strong card. It's a male card. It's you're a very strong leader. Spirit's advice for you is don't go charging ahead. Don't go looking for things. When you leave everything, when you let go and let God, when you leave everything in God's hands, you start to see God's hand in everything. So if you rush forward ahead now, you're going to undo a lot of what you've done. So just allow yourself to be, because if you rush forward, it can be a bit like a bull in a china shop with things. So just enjoy the space and this time that you've been given, because when you have the World card, my darling, there's always a pause and reflect time before you move into your new cycle. The universe never whisks you from one cycle to the next. There's always a time of pause and reflection before you move forward. And I'm just going to pull from my Gilded Tarot. Thank you, Spirit. For Leo, thank you. What else do you want to tell? No. Spirit, they're going that one, and I didn't take it, I missed it. So we'll see what they, I have to go around again. Spirit, there we go. The Hermit, yes, of course. So this has now come out. This is this time for you, okay? This time of really enjoying spending time with yourself. And maybe in the past you were you almost needed to fill your time all the time, because almost like that, it was like that a fear-based, trauma-based response to things that you didn't want to see. Now you've seen it, now you understand it. And those that are very happy to be on their own, those that enjoy their own company, those that enjoy loving hanging out with their higher selves, those that enjoy that small number of soul family around them, those that have no need of another to fulfill a space within them, in that hermit space, what you're then doing as you get to, as you know this, as you continue to evolve, you continue to raise your vibration, is you attract in somebody of the same ilk. So you are attracting in somebody of that same higher vibration. And, don't be surprised when you're in this hermit mode that people that were in this past, and could be yesterday, could be a month, could be a year ago, that the universe keeps the door closed because they are of that energy where you were, not where you are now. So if you keep knocking on that door, don't be surprised if it doesn't open. But when one door closes, another door opens. And it means that as you've reached the end of this cycle, whatever cycle you're going into, because people have left your life, it's allowed space for others to come in that are meant to come in for you. And that's where the trust and faith and knowing comes in, that it's all happening for your greatest good. I feel like with this hermit card, it's like, because it's on this very narrow path here from one to another, you have felt very constricted. Just keep taking those steps forward. There's a lovely poem, and it's when God says, come to the edge. He said, we're too afraid, they said. Come to the edge, he said. We're too busy, they said. Come to the edge, he said. We don't want to, they said. Come to the edge, he said. And they came, and he pushed, and they flew. This is a time for you to continue to appreciate that you may be in a space of being slightly uncomfortable things, but you have this amazing faith over fear, and continue to do that inner work, continue to meditate, continue to call in the answers. One of the extraordinary things to say is, I am ready. I am ready to receive whatever it is that you, God, the universe, wishes to give me at this time for my greatest good, for my involvement, for my learning, for my growth, for me to let go of. I am ready. And in doing that, and I'm ready for the answers. And, also to say, thank you, God, for helping me to understand that this problem has already been solved for me. And that, when we go through a healing process, we want to be ready straight away. We want to be better straight away. But when we've been hurt, just like if we have an operation, we have to have time for that rest and renewal. And you are still in this space of, you've reached an end of a cycle. There is still inner healing and inner work for you to do, because it's a constant process, as I said, of evolution. In your life is a constant process of this. So now you've got the Page of Wands. It's leading to this new time of exploratory adventure, I'm going to say for you. That's the words I've been given. Wands, desires, this is this one that you had in the Seven of Wands. This is, did you have the Seven of Wands? The Nine of Wands, sorry. So this is that time for you to, I just want to touch base on that Nine of Wands again for a second. Actually, I will do now. The Nine of Wands as well for you is, you've left so many cycles, similar cycles, and you've now stepped forward with that one wand, thinking, do you know what? I don't want that anymore. I don't want that type of relationship anymore. It's not good for me. It doesn't make me feel right. And so you've moved forward from those 9 wands to holding one wand. This is this one now, this Page of Wands, this exploratory time for you, because you finally put yourself first. You finally said no. Maybe verbally, but also energetically, you've sent out a great big no vibration to any sort of relationship like that. And you want what you deserve. And you do, my darling, and you've done and you are doing so much inner calling work. And because you've stepped out of your comfort zone and you've gone to the edge, now the universe can step in and start, because you are learning to receive. You see, we can give and give and give and give, but if we don't feel subconsciously that we deserve to receive, then we can't receive. But you flip that in your mind. And this Page of Wands you've got here, this is pages of transitional time. So there is something that's going to be a transition for you, some lovely change. Change is good. Just always think that I embrace change because it's happening for me. There are parrots there, so there may be a lot of talking going on. I don't know. But it's all good talking because this is higher self as well. So that's very beautiful. And I'm going to finish again. You've got another death card. So this is a double confirmation for you, my love. This is this confirmation that you have changed your thinking from an old way to a new way. And allowing that to happen and that different perspective on your life and putting yourself first, the universe is charging in like a rhino for you. So Leah, I hope that helped with those that this message resonated with, and I look forward to doing you another reading in early October. Take care, my darlings. Bye-bye.